They played some good coverage, and I tried to take what they gave me in the first half, and that play kind of just popped. So it's a good play. But yeah, that's kind of how the first half went compared to the second.
For you guys, what was the most frustrating part about it? Was it penalties or just knowing that y'all are better than maybe what y'all showed, or what do you think?
I think it has to go together. Like the penalties are part of us, and that we're better, but also, we can play a lot better. I could play a lot better. We got to help. Our defense has been holding up. We got to, able to help them. So, yeah, it's not easy, but yeah, we just got to do better.
Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Keith from Black Quarterback Series. You see me looking down. I'm already on my notes. I want to make sure. So, because this segment, I think, is going to be long. You saw at the beginning, I'm sure, I had something with CJ Stroud or D'Amico Ryans. I had something there where they talked about the status of the team. And so we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the status of the team, and then we're going to get into the big picture of the Houston Texans, because I think the Houston Texans is going to be a bulk of this show, because I'm a little concerned with them, and not for the reasons you guys might think, but let's talk about it. So, CJ Stroud, 25 of 38, 204 yards, a touchdown and an interception. So, the first interception, if I can put him on the screen, I find him. The first interception was just a great defensive play. It was a great defensive play. He thought the backer was going to be in a spot that he was not at. The backer essentially played two spots at the same time. It was crazy. He was with one receiver, saw that the ball was going there, and he switched off and jumped that receiver. So that's a very layman's terms of how I'm saying it. I got that on the screen. I made sure to record that one because I felt that was important. And the second interception was a tip ball because of the terrible offensive line, right? Not double teaming Hines Allen on the edge. So the interceptions, while they are CJ's fault, those 8 interceptions can be explained away, schematically schemed. Those can be explained away. So CJ's gun shy. I think CJ's gun shy now. Anytime he had room in the pocket, he was able to make the throws. Anytime he didn't have the room in the pocket, he was and somebody get next to him, he just fall. Well, I'm being hyperbolic. He would look very panicky. You know what I mean? He was very, very panicky. And that comes from all the cumulative hits. Like his first year, and I kind of fear with the young guys that we got, like Caleb and Cam Ward. We'll talk about Cam Ward later. I fear that some of these guys are going to get a little gun shy and start doing all this crazy stuff that CJ is doing. I think CJ's still a good quarterback. He's a little gun shy right now. I would be gun shy too. They said it was just like mid third quarter. They said that there was a 40% of the time, it was a 40% rush rate or something like that. And the other 60%, I'm sure he was looking over his shoulder like, man, they gonna come get me. So I think that they need a better offensive philosophy. You're running screens and long developing passes when you don't have the offensive line to do that. You don't, like, for example, CJ, I watched Cam Ward right after I watched this game. And just to see the difference in the time that Cam Ward has versus the time that CJ has is night and day. And we're not even talking about like a super duper good team that just got blown out. And that team looked like it had a better offensive line. So I think it's a lot of gun shyness, and I think it's a lot of coaching. Because why do we have CJ doing, as my air comes on, why are we having CJ doing all these like 5-step drops? Now, don't call me on it, hold me accountable to it. I don't think he's doing a like super duper a lot of step back drops, but like it feels like he never has any time. And that feels like offensive coordinator related, because CJ is still a good quarterback. When he had time, he was diamond. When he doesn't have time, he looks antsy and gun shy. I'm trying to explain all of it away to make it not CJ's fault, but we know at the end of the day, the quarterback is going to get blamed for it. And CJ has to play better. I'm not going to sit here and say CJ is not good. You have to play better. You have to play better. But at the end of the day, when you're like last and third down completions and uh, you're throwing two interceptions and players are dropping the ball and like you can't get more than 20 points. I think they only had 13 points or 10 points or something like that. You can't score 21 points to beat beat a Jaguars team that's essentially giving you the game with their drops on the offensive end. It's just like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Like, and I hate to say it, but somebody's gonna if they go one if they only win 3, 4, 5 games this year, somebody's losing their job. It's not gonna be CJ. They're gonna have to make some tough calls as far as getting this offensive line shored up because this offensive line is ruining their franchise. They played well in that drive leading up to the tip ball interception, but like it's not enough of that. It's not enough of that. Um, and again, to reiterate my point that it's not all CJ fault. Even when he was put the game in good position, Collins fumbled the ball in the fourth quarter. When they, I'm almost guaranteed that they were going to score in that drive if Collins doesn't fumble that ball. And then the defense just couldn't hold up anymore because they was holding up all day. The offense failed the defense. The offense failed the defense. The defense held Jacksonville. Jacksonville held Jacksonville on pretty much to 10 points for the most part. And you guys can get it done. Like, so you're 0-3 with a gunshot quarterback and a still young coach. Some hard decisions are going to be made. Now, I don't want D'Amico Ryans to be fired. I'm not sitting here saying D'Amico Ryans needs to be fired, but I just know the nature of this. So I just hope that they can get it together. They're in the AFC South, so there's a chance. But the way the coach looking, ugh. So I don't know. I just hope that they can get it together. My big takeaway is that they need to change their offense philosophy. I think there needs to be more quick game. There are not as many screens. They kind of have to try to run the ball. I don't think they should go away from trying to run the ball, but they need to put more emphasis on that. If you're going to be that, be that. And this is not a shot at CJ. We've realized that CJ Stroud is a little more Dak Prescott than he is Pat. And I say that to say, I don't think CJ can overcome this offensive line issues. I think Lamar, Josh, Pat, I think Jalen. I think some of these guys could overcome that with their supreme athleticism. CJ is not supremely athletic. Justin Fields, like, I don't think he can overcome those things with this iteration of Houston. Like, so, I wish him well though. I wish him well. So, let's move on. So we're gonna move on. Move on to Cam Ward. Bad opening drive, man. Like, you can't throw that interception right at you can't throw that. You can't throw that ball. You cannot throw that pass right in the opening drive when you're staring down that receiver to check as a check down. You can't throw that. Cam Ward was 23 for 38, 219 yards, a touchdown or interception. The interception was right at the beginning of the game. It was the first drive where he essentially was like, nobody's there. I got to throw it to somebody. I'm going to throw it to my check down. He's not open. So the last drive that I watched, the last drive where the game was pretty much over, I watched every Titans possession. And you could tell he's getting better. Like I said earlier, I'm just looking for him to be terrible. And he's not looking terrible. He's making good reads, he's making good decisions. The flashes are like, whoa. So shout out to Cam Ward. I think he's gonna be good. Extremely young team. I forgot to look at the average age of this team because they have to be super duper young. So shout out to them. And so the game that could have been, as I'm going back and forth between my notes and my phone, the game that could have led this show, and I just had to talk about Houston to give Houston that light and my concerns about Houston. the Eagles. I wrote on this paper, I think it was like 21-27. Show why they Super Bowl champions. I changed it back over to that game because I thought the Eagles was going to run a rough shot, and I wasn't going to have to watch that game. Little did I know, the Rams was going to give me an all-time blunder. Me being from St. Louis, I love when the Rams do stupid shit. It's one of my national pastimes to see the Rams fail. It's just, it's beautiful. But Jalen was 21 for 32, 226 yards, 3 touchdowns. I'm going to say that all those are in the second half. His second half numbers are on the screen. I made sure to grab those. AJ, 6 receptions, 109 yards, a touchdown. Devontae, touchdown. They had 2 blocked field goals. They forced Hurst to throw the ball, and he carved them up. They outscored the Rams 26-7 in the second half. They decided to wake up in the second half, and that's essentially what happened. Like AJ and Jalen said that they play too conservative, which is what I've been telling Baltimore. Baltimore plays the same way. They play so conservative. They play not to lose, and this hurt Philly because they were down and they were forced to open it up. And you see what happened. Let's play that way in general. Let that be the way we play. We're too talented. This is like the Golden State Warriors of 2017. That's how talented this Philly team is. They are the Golden State Warriors in 2017. If you don't watch basketball, Golden State Warriors 2017, if I'm not mistaken, that's the first year of KD, like of Kevin Durant. That team was unbeatable when they locked in. When they locked in, well, nobody beating them. I feel that same way about Philly. I know I picked the Vikings in Baltimore to make the Super Bowl, but if Philly lock in, they can run the table. They can run the table. If Philly lock in and be like, ain't nobody else touching us, we going to go beat everybody up by 10, 15, they can do that. They can beat you on the ground. They can beat you in the air. They can stop your best player, Cooper Jazeen, not letting nothing come past him over the middle. So it's like, this team is built to win. There's no reason in the world that this team should ever be down 20. And maybe this is the game that catapults them. AJ and Jalen were very adamant about that offensive coordinator being more being more go get it. They were very adamant about that in their pressers. So they didn't say the offensive coordinator, but they said we're being too conservative. We have to play to kill, basically. We have to play more go get it. Let's knock them out. Play with more force. That's what they did in the second half. It was fun to watch. It was definitely fun to watch. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So I don't know who's going to beat the Eagles. So real quick, I did not write their numbers down. I didn't do a video about them. But shout out to the Kansas City Chiefs for beating the New York Jets. You had to get that game because you stared at a barrel of 0-4. And with the division that y'all in with Justin Herbert playing as well as he playing and the Raiders being sneaky good, who's to say that y'all wasn't going to 0-6 or 7? And that's a death sentence, right? So shout out to them. Y'all won the game y'all supposed to win. But on the other end, I think we need to take Russ out back, y'all. I think Russ is old yellow now. I think it's time to take him out back. I love Russ as a person, but I think that's it for Russ. Some of those passes, you like, what are you doing, bro? What are we doing? So I just hope that I'm wrong, but I think Russ. I think it might be it. Like, I'm not gonna talk about Russ unless he plays somebody of significance, but I can't defend Russ on that. He looked rough, man. He looked rough. Rough Russ. He looks rough. So the Packers, real quick. I didn't watch the whole Packers game. I did watch the fourth quarter because I wanted to see how in the hell did y'all give up a game to the Cleveland Browns when you were up 10 in the fourth. So it was a combination of not being disciplined, got a kick blocked, Jordan Love throwing an interception. The interception, it was a pretty bad interception. It was led to the touchdown. You got a pass interference in the end zone that set up the touchdown. And just everything you wanted to go wrong went wrong. You couldn't convert to get a first down to take more time off the clock. And Cleveland has always had a great defense. This is not surprising to me. But I guess we should chill on the Packers. I guess I got in my notes that Packers came back. I guess it's time to chill on the Packers. We might have crowned them a little too early. But I think the Packers are still going to be good, um, especially with the whole every quarterback at 27 in their history has won a Super Bowl. So hey, it's bound to lose one game. We're gonna do a deeper dive on the Packers next week because they're gonna play the Cowboys on Sunday Night Football. It's gonna be a standalone game. They're gonna get a standalone video again. Who else we got here? Oh, Love was 18 for 25, 183 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. The Panthers and the Falcons. I'm not gonna do no deep dive for real on this game because it was a buzzsaw game. But Penix was 18 for 36, 172 yards and two interceptions. One was a bad throw, and the other one looked like the wide receiver fell. I wasn't really sure. I tried to slow it down, but I really don't know what the hell happened there. I have no idea what happened there. So one was a bad throw. I'm just gonna say the receiver fell down on the other one. Young was 16 for 24, 121 yards. The Panthers did nothing special, man. Like the Panthers legit did nothing special. I I don't understand the Eagles, or not the Eagles. I understand the Eagles very much. Best team, they're the best team in the league so far right now. I don't understand Atlanta. None of the sports team in Atlanta, honestly. I don't understand Atlanta having so much talent offensively, but never like putting up a lot of points. Bar for bar, this team has some of the Eagles ish in them, the eagleness in them. Like Michael Penix, he's a good quarterback. He's a decent quarterback. We don't know if he's good yet, but he's decent. Drake London, you got Bijan, you got I always forget my guy's name. The tight end, like there are good pieces on this offense. Raheem Morris is a decent coach from what I see, and the defense is decent. Why are y'all not better? Like I really don't understand why y'all not better. Like I don't know. I don't know. Like it's only week 3, but like, and also Penix was benched in the fourth quarter. I think that was for safety reasons. They didn't want to get him hurt. The game was well over. But like I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. We're gonna see more of Atlanta. Obviously, we're gonna follow Atlanta. Blah blah blah. But like, I don't have a beat on Atlanta yet. I don't know what Atlanta is yet. Like I said, we'll know what everybody is by Thanksgiving. But like, Thanksgiving is in like a few months. Like I don't even know what to make of Atlanta. I'm not going to talk more about Atlanta. Well, obviously, we're gonna follow them. Real quick on the Cardinals game. All I got from it is a lot of drop passes. The wide receivers pretty much failed Kyler Murray. The 49ers did what they were supposed to do. Not what they were supposed to do, but the 49ers played better. Their receivers made the plays that was needed to make. Marvin Harrison Jr. and the other guys there didn't make the plays that they needed in order to win. Kind of like a Jacksonville Jaguars type thing where he can only put the ball in so many spots. You got to catch it at some point. But they just couldn't make the big catches when it was needed. Vikings. I know this is not a black quarterback. This is not a black quarterback series thing, but Vikings destroy the Bengals. The Bengals are done. The Bengals must trying to get the number 1 pick. If the Bengals have the number 1 pick, it's going to be very interesting because I don't know if the Bengals are going to be able to win a game without Joe. I truly don't know if they're going to win a game without Joe. It's bad. It's bad in Cincinnati. Chicago Bears finally finished a game. So, Chicago Bears. So, Caleb Williams, 19 for 28, 298 yards and 4 touchdowns. Watched a little bit of this game. Didn't watch the whole thing. Just from what I saw, they finished the game how they started. Finally. The Bears could easily be 3-0. They finally finished the game, and congrats to them. So, Ben Johnson finally got his first win as a head coach. And just shout out to them. The Bears, when the Bears are on, the Bears are on. Like they have talent as well. They have a lot of talent as well. I'm very interested in seeing how the Bears play when everything is clicking and everything is together. If it sounds like I'm going real fast, I'm recording this Monday, trying to get ready to watch the Lamar Jackson against Detroit, Baltimore Ravens against Detroit. But final game, I did not get to watch this game. I saw little bits and pieces on Red Zone, so take it with a grain of salt. The Jets and the Bucks. The Bucks almost let that get away. The Buccaneers almost let that one get away. Um, it was almost going to be a weird sight to let that get away. The Jets are a lot better than we think they are. I like what I'm seeing from the Jets. I like the Jets head coach. I just want the Jets to be decent, man. Like, I want the Jets to be decent. That's all I ask for. If the Jets win 9-8 or 8-9, I'll be happy for them. I was just they've been bad for so long. I just want the Jets to be successful. And if they're successful, Tyrod Taylor looks better and Justin Fields look better. So let me know what you guys think about your team. How did y'all team do this week? And I'll talk to you guys. No, before I go. If you missed it, I did a review for the Monday Night Football game. It will be at the top or at the end of the description, somewhere there. So let me know what you're going to think your team's going to do this week. And I'll talk to you guys later. Peace. Probably Thursday. We'll see.